Calibrating your pH meter doesn't need to be one of those tasks you hate to do. I'll give you some tips to help make it a smooth, quick process. It should only take you about 3 to 5 minutes to complete this task. Okay, let's get started by gathering the items we'll need. Let's go ahead and get our pH meter. Next, we are going to need our calibration solutions of 4, 7, and 10 pH. This will allow us to do a 3-point calibration. If your meter only does a 2-point, that's fine. Not all meters do a 3-point calibration. Next, we will need containers to hold our pH solutions. You can use glass or plastic measuring cups. They need to hold about 30 milliliters. I use this cool little container. I love this little thing. It never tips over. This next one is very important. The storage solution to keep the bulb wet when not in use. And finally, distilled water to rinse the pH meter and keep it clean. Now for the calibrating. Start with pouring the calibration solutions into your containers. 1 container for each solution, and label them. This is another reason I like this container. Labeling and staying organized is really easy. I also put my EC calibration numbers on there so I can quickly calibrate my EC meter as well. I like to use the last compartment for distilled water. I use it for rinsing the meter between solutions and as a holding container if needed. I always keep a bottle like this in my pH kit for rinsing the meter in the field or when calibrating it. Cool, we are ready to calibrate. Turn on the pH meter and press the calibration button. It should indicate that it's in calibration mode and what number pH solution it's looking for. As you can see, this one is asking for a 7 pH to start. Put the meter in the solution and it should flash or indicate that it's calibrating to that solution. When it's done, it will indicate and give a signal. With this meter, it shows a happy face to let me know I can press the calibration button again to set this calibration and then move on to the next one. Before the next calibration, I like to rinse off my meter in distilled water and gently shake it off to clean it off before it goes into the next solution. This meter requires a press of the calibration button again to put it back into calibration mode. It will flash and show what pH it's looking for next. We will go ahead and put the meter in the number 4 pH and let it start calibrating. Wait until the happy face lights up to indicate it's done, and sweet, we have one more to go. It's flashing, indicating the number 4 is done, and now I can move on to the number 10. Also note, it should be reading the correct pH for the solution you just calibrated against. Give it a quick rinse and press the calibration button one last time. It will indicate that it's in calibration mode and what pH it's looking for. This time it's the number 10, so let's go ahead and put the meter into the solution and let it start. The time it takes to calibrate each solution depends on the meter you are using. Some will be faster than others. When it's done, press the calibration button one last time, and we now have a calibrated pH meter. To finish up, I want to give you some tips to help keep your pH meter calibrated and to make sure your calibration doesn't drift without you knowing it. First, the pH of the solutions will change over time, especially as air comes into contact with the solution. So keep a tight lid on the bottle and buy them in small quantities to keep them fresh. Also, only pour out from the bottle what you need. Don't put the probe into the bottle. This could introduce contamination into the bottle that will definitely change the pH of the solution over time. Remember that storage solution in the beginning I said was so important? I didn't forget about it. Only store the pH meter with the cap on and storage solution to the fill line. This will keep the meter calibrated and prolong its life. And always remember to clean the bulb after every use with distilled water. If you like this content and would like to learn more, please subscribe to my channel.